Hi guys, it's Kendra from Crafty Kendra. Today I'm going to show you how to make this card, so let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, it has been airbrushed. These aren't stamps, they're airbrush. And what I did with that is I took a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece with some stencils. These stencils are stencils that I made using the Hearts Framelits collection. Just gonna take a actually over here, a couple Post-its. I'm gonna bring in a scratch paper so I don't mess this one up. Now we'll put it down. Okay. And the one that we're going to start with is a larger heart. It isn't the largest heart from the set. It is actually this one right here. So the scalloped one, the largest heart, and then the second largest heart. And we're just going to attach this down over our paper with a couple Post-its just to kind of keep it in place. Don't want it sliding around. Alright, gonna bring in our spritzer and our marker, and the marker that we're gonna start with is Pink Pirouette. Just gonna slide it up there, hold it down. Now with your spritzer, how it works is the less of the tip you have up, the more of a fine mist you're going to get. The more the tip you have down, you're going to get more of a splatter look. So we're just going to start and I'm starting on the edges because I want to make sure that the definition and the shape is really noticeable. And we're just going to peel this off. So there we get our first little heart. And to clean this off, you just want to take a baby wipe or a paper towel or something. I like the baby wipe because it gets all the ink off of it. And then you can just let it air dry. So we'll set that one aside. The next stencil we're going to bring in is this one, and it has 2 hearts in it, as you can see. It's the smallest and then the next size up heart. Okay. Just going to lay it down where I want it. Right about there. Again, I'm going to use Post-its to kind of hold it in place. The next marker color we're going to bring in is going to be Pool Party. And we're going to be doing the smallest heart with that one. And since I've overlapped it, I want to make sure that I get the heart pretty dark. Now you can go ahead and use a brayer, and you'll be able to brayer over it just fine, but it's going to be more of a solid color versus the variation, since this is airbrushed. And for our last one, we're going to use Raspberry Ripple. And I'm going to start off with a finer mist. Which, because this is a newer marker, it's a little wetter, so the fine mist is still pretty chunky. And then we're going to do the more drastic big globs. If you only wanted to color in one heart, just cover up the other one with a Post-it. If you want to make sure that you don't get any splatters of color in the other heart, cover it up after you're done spraying it the first time. I actually like how it gets just a little bit of the color on there, so go ahead and close that up. And we'll lift it off. Alright, this has had a little time to dry, so we're just going to go ahead and pick it up and set it aside. And we're going to go ahead and leave this piece there, and I'm going to bring in a piece of Whisper White. This piece measures 1/8 inch by 3 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to add under the paper, a little bit of snail to the back, and we just need a little bit. Okay, tap it with our fingers, and the reason we're doing this is because we're going to simply be using it to hold it in place while we stamp our greeting. And our greeting is from the Seasonal Sayings, which was in the 2012 to 2013 holiday catalog. And we're going to bring out the Love You stamp. Now, this stamp did carry over from that holiday catalog, so it is still available. And if you were one of those lucky people who purchased the single stamps, because this stamp set was broken up so that you could purchase the greetings individually, they aren't anymore. They were, and it ended on January 2nd. So you might have the stamp set laying around. It's not in the case, but we're going to go ahead and use this. You could use any greeting that you like and, you know, increase the size of this piece to accommodate. I'm going to color in the word love with Island Indigo. Okay, so colored in the word love with Island Indigo. And now I'm going to color in you with basic black. Okay. And I'm going to bring in a piece of transparency paper in my Stamp-A-Majig. And it's hard for you guys to see. But sometimes when I want to make sure that I get a clear mount stamp in place, I'll just go ahead and make a temporary image sheet. And my my regular image sheet that came with the Stamp-A-Majig is running away from me at the moment. So we're going to use this. Alright, so I went ahead and I stamped the greeting, so it's going to be ready to go. But before we do that, we're just going to go ahead and color the stamp in again to make sure that it gets dark. So the word love in Island Indigo. Okay. You is in basic black. And this time we're going to color in the little heart, just a little heart and the circle of the O. We're going to color that in with the raspberry ripple. Okay. And go ahead and make sure that our greeting is centered, but more towards the right side because this will be cut into a banner. Line our Stamp-A-Majig up. the acetate and just move that aside. Then you want to breathe on your stamp to re-moisten any ink that might have dried, and stamp straight down, then come straight up, and there is our greeting. Set our stamp aside. Now we can lift this. We'll be done with that piece. I'm going to go ahead and snip up about 3/4 of an inch. Then create the little banner. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our card base. And our card base is a 5.5 by 4.25 inch piece of Whisper White. And I folded it. This time I have folded it so that it's going to open this way. On my sample card, it opened at the top. Before we do anything else, we're going to go ahead and bring in a corner chomper and give our card half-inch corners on all 4 sides. Okay, and the piece that we spritzed earlier, it's dried, so we're going to go ahead and give it half-inch corners on all 4 sides as well. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some snail on the back of our airbrushed piece. And center it on our card base. Just like that. Press it down. Alright. Next thing we're going to bring in is a piece of Pool Party. And this piece measures 1/4 by 5.5. Using my glue pen, I'm just going to cover the back. Sorry, my glue seemed to be stuck in my glue pen. Okay, got some adhesive on there. I'm going to pull in my card base and attach this strip about 1 inch from the bottom. Just like that. Press it down. Next thing we're going to do is I have a piece of primrose petals, and what I've done is I've used our dotted scallop ribbon border to punch it out. Just going to flip over our greeting, and I'm going to run a strip of snail along the bottom, making sure that I get it on the point. I'm going to line it up with our punched piece so that only the little scallops show, because I don't really want the dots showing through. If you want the dots showing through, by all means, let them show. Okay. And then what I do is to give it a clean edge, I just slide under the tip and I cut off at the end of a scallop. So it ends like that. And I just, okay. And now with my scissors, I'm just going to cut off this little part that will show through. And I find the easiest way is to bend it up and then snip it off, so that way you don't have any showing on the front. Okay. Now what I use with this is I attach it with some dimensionals, and I'm just going to use some edging that I have, because that edging is still really good. No reason to throw it out. Peel it off the backers. Just like that. Bring back in my card base. And then I line this up against my first layer that I added. Just like that. And that finishes off my card for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed it. But that's all I have for you, so thanks for watching.